Some of the other Gulf states are condemning Iran's retaliatory strikes on its neighbors. They're scheduled to hold urgent, high-level diplomatic meetings on Sunday where retaliatory strikes on its neighbors, were they a big miscalculation? For more, let's bring in Mehek Cooke, former political and military affairs analyst at the U.S. State Department under President Obama. So Iran is lashing out at many of its neighbors. Just about any place there's an American base has seen some kind of an Iranian attack. What do you make of it, Mehek? How do you think what should be the response?
Well, John, I think this is the biggest miscalculation on Iran's front. You're seeing Iran's greatest attack by the U.S. and Israel, and instead of responding in kind, instead of responding in a targeted fashion, they have turned their backs on their Muslim brothers. The countries that have tried to remain neutral for 5 decades have now finally showed a unified front as Iran started attacking. This wasn't just U.S. bases. They were attacking every single country they could. You saw airports that were being attacked, you saw hotel districts in Dubai, you saw countries that tried to remain neutral and sit on the fence now being pulled into a regional movement and conflict. And I think this is a pivotal moment. Gulf states today have a choice. They have a choice to follow President Trump's strength and to rebuild peace in the Middle East. And unfortunately for Iran, I think their time is up, because instead of building allies, they have made direct enemies. You're seeing statements come out of Saudi Arabia and Jordan talking about the attack on sovereignty and how hard the Saudis are going to work to ensure that there is regional peace and make sure that they will fight Iran at all costs. That's how I read the Foreign Ministry's letter, to make sure that we are going to have a systematic, unified response. So this is no longer Jerusalem and Washington. This is the Middle East and most of the Gulf states standing in alignment with President Trump.
As we've been speaking, we just got word that sirens have been sounded across Israel, that missiles are apparently incoming, launched from Iran. Are these the death throes of a flailing state, or does it still have a lot of military might to mess with its neighbors?
Well, look, I think these are still going to be just death throes, because they are in full-blown panic mode. They have alienated every single country that they could potentially have relied on in terms of neighbors. And I've been to Israel. I know what the missiles are like. I know what the alarms are like. And I know what the bomb shelters are like. And I'm speaking directly to a couple confidential sources that are IDF soldiers on the ground. And they're telling me that their families are pretty much staying in these bomb shelters, John. They want to make sure that they're safe. But at the end of the day, Israel has one of the strongest defenses, and these missiles aren't going to be able to cause a lot of damage. I think that Iran is in their final hours, and I think President Trump's message was so strong to the people of Iran. This is their country, and they need to fight to take it back. Their actions will determine the course of generations to come.
How confident are you that the Iranian people are going to be able to restore a government that is actually responsive to their needs, rather than this theocracy that we've seen since 1979?
You know, it's been 47 years, and it took 47th President Trump to actually bring peace to the Middle East. I can't guarantee that there's going to be realignment immediately, but I do know that this is going to take time. And the fact that you have neighbors on all sides in the Gulf actually coming in and saying, we want to establish peace, I actually think we're going to have security agreements that are akin to the Abraham Accords, and we're going to actually build momentum through strategic alliances and intel sharing. And I think that, at the end of the day, will help with governance in Iran.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.